Recording in progress.
Welcome, everybody, to our monthly Second Saturday's poetry reading, hosted by local poet Kathy Donnelly. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Dan Kerr. I have the privilege of being the outreach chairman of All Souls Church, and I am also your moderator for today. We do try to keep it fairly prompt, so we do start about 11 o'clock, thereabouts. Please, as I said before, please put your name in chat if you want to read one of your poems. Please keep your microphone muted. Feedback is a gift, so if there are things we do that you like, things you do that you think we could do better, things you do that we do, believe it or not, that you don't like, and we do get those occasionally, which are welcome. Feedback is a gift. There is the email to send it to. It's danielbkerr@verizon.net. I'll get you settled, and then I'll turn you over to Kathy, who will introduce today's poet and get us started. Then we'll have the featured poet. We're fortunate to have Qiana Marks with us today. So we'll have Qiana. Then we'll have the open read, then we'll bring Qiana back for an encore, and then Kathy will close the program. This poetry reading today is one of many outreach programs of All Souls Church. Kathy always reminds me that people are here for poetry, not for evangelization. But I will share with you that there are things that we do that the poets do participate in. It was nice to see Carolyn Emerson in the audience for the last concert. So every month we do concerts. So this happens to be Eastbound Freight, which is a bluegrass band that performed last Saturday. So poets tend to come to this. Poets obviously tend to come to the second Saturday's poetry reading. Before COVID, we used to do them in the church. And now since COVID, we've done them virtually. And you'll see the advantages of doing it virtually by the fact that we've got Mark from California and we've got Mike Daly from North Carolina. I doubt they would have been able to join us today if we were just meeting in the church. So we do the poetry each month, and we also do the Native American drumming once a month as well. If you want more information on those programs, just visit our website or send me an email. I'll be happy to tell you more about those programs. Once a year, only once a year, what we do is we take all the poetry programs. We take poetry, we take Native American drumming, and we do music, and we combine them into one very special evening. It's called Conversations of the Sacred. So what you're looking at here on the left, and you'll recognize the names here. These are all local poets. Each of those poets will read a sacred poem, which has been selected by Kathy Donnelly and/or myself, or a couple of other people that help us plan the program. And then each poem, the sacred poem, from various religious traditions. We've got Muslim poems, we've got Hindu experience, we've got Christians, we've got Jewish, all different views, perspectives. Each poem is followed by a musical interlude, either on the historical tracker organ there. That tracker organ was actually, you mentioned Bessie White before, the wife of Stanford White. That was actually donated by the mother of Bessie White. So the tracker organ. We also have our Native American drummer. There's, you'll see Rick Statler there on the drum. And then we have musicians. You see the two musicians up here. That's Ford Forkman, who's the director of concerts, and his partner, Kate Armine, director of concerts at Stony Brook. So there's a musical interlude for them. And then you can see all the different poets and the musicians all up on the altar afterwards. All right, so mark your calendars. That is actually September 5th, and that's at 6 o'clock. That's part of the Saturdays at 6 series. We've got all the poets that we need for this year, but occasionally people have to cancel. So if you want to be considered as a substitute or as a contingent or reserve poet, just send me a note. And also, we hope you'll be able to join us as well. It's really a very special evening. And then the last thing I'll mention is once a year we do the Souls for All Souls 5K race, 2K walk. You recognize Barbara, the two Barbers there. You recognize Wendy. You recognize Dr. Richard. And you recognize Kathy. Every year there is a group, it's a 5K race and it's a 2K walk. And it does two things. It celebrates what we do in the community, and it also raises funds to make the church, which was built in 1896 when life expectancy in the US was less than 50 years, make the church accessible to all. And there's a group each year called the Live Poets Society who walks in the race. So if you'd like to join us, please mark your calendars on October 4th, and please do your best you can to join us. This is the 18th year we've done it, and we've made considerable progress to making the church accessible. We've now got a design that's been vetted and approved by the congregation, by the Episcopal Diocese, by the local governments, and we've raised well over $100,000 towards the project. So the funds that we raised this year will help us make church accessible to all. And there is a special group there that walks every year called the Live Poets Society. You would be a welcome addition to that. Okay, so without further ado, let me turn you over to Kathy. Kathy, the role yours.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. We've got a nice group here today, and I see a few people just came in late. Jerry Kaplan here is here, and Randy. So welcome and thank you for coming. And Shu's here. Yay. Shu will read for us in the future. I want to start off with a poem. And this poem just really grabbed me. I think because of its absolute simplicity. And if it's a form, I'm not sure. I don't think so. Jerry will let me know. And it's it's a book, Whale Day, and Other Poems by Billy Collins. So I think we all kind of know who he is by now, right? Walking under the trees. I'm walking under the trees, walking in and out of their shadows, walking step by step under the trees, so the leaves on their lowest branches graze my bare head. As I walk slow under the trees, so close to me, they could have their arms around my shoulders, walking under the guardian trees. I'm walking under the trees, plucked a leaf and putting it in my pocket, so I won't forget walking under the cloak of these trees, thinking of nothing else but the trees and me walking under all their leaves and branches, walking all morning under the trees. And I just thought, he makes it look so easy to write a poem, doesn't he? Sometimes. I now have the privilege of introducing Qiana Marks, better known as Q Imagine, one of the most really creative young people I've met in a long time, and the new generation of us poets here on Long Island. Q Imagine is a multidisciplinary writer with titles such as author, a screenwriter, playwright, poet, and book reviewer of The Scene, which is the scene.life. It's a wonderful $5 magazine that's got more information in that small thing than most. She has been published in various anthologies and magazines from around the world. Some recent publications include Worlds of Possibility, Nebulous Magazine, Bard Annual, Alien Buddha Press, Quill and Crow, and Suffolk County Poetry Review. Besides writing, she is an avid lover of music, spending time outdoors and watching movies, probably under the trees. Anyway, she has been writing poetry since she learned how to write. Her work can be found on Medium and Instagram under her pen name at Q Imagine. Welcome, Q, and now we get to listen to her.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kathy and Dan, for this opportunity. Thank you all for being here. I'm so happy to be sharing poetry with you guys, and I'm excited to hear you guys share poetry too. I'll just get right into it. The first poem I'm going to read is If You Feel. Here it goes. Singing in the meadows of green, I bask in the symphony of running through the leaves. I laugh and I whimsically feel destined to be seen by the light of life that travels and receives. My wants and needs are tumbling, and yet I face the many trees, the obstacles upon me that caress and relieves, the mask of loving hands reaching out with ease. I grasp the feeling inside and believe that we can do anything, that we can hear many sing in the meadows of green where I ponder on life and figure out what it all means. To wander through life without a cause or esteem, I frolic on the leaves. I find a means to perceive, to believe, for hope. Thank you. The first 4 poems are going to be nature poems. So this one is called Chocolate Mint. I have a chocolate mint plant in my backyard that one of my coworkers gave me. And it grows, and I just like the smell of it, so it inspired a poem. So here it goes. Your scent is soft like lullabies, yet sweet and light like butterflies. I caress your leaves, and you leave a trace that makes my nose find its happy place. You're different than others. It's wild and true. How tall you stand, yet life's so new. How much you've grown over the many days. Come back every year and stay. Since I place your leaves in drinks, like mojitos, I think back to a time before I had you. The back of my mind knows that I knew that you were beautiful and a gift. Yet all you do is feel the earth shift. I look to you as a muse, since nature always soothes my soul, amused by chocolate mint. Thank you. This next poem is called The Bird Song. I was inspired by a robin in my backyard, so I wrote this poem. Good morning, world. What shall I do today? Where is my lover now, or has she flown away? I sit up on the branch and wander to the sky. That's big and bright and blue. I always want to be high, to soar as far as I go, to cast my wanting wish, to make little chicks and eat as many fish, or eat as many worms that I can fit within my grasp. Savor all of it. I'll savor all of it and give my chicks to go until they're big enough to get their own and know that life is treacherous, yet pure and true. Whatever flows the tide will serve up love and hate too. We need the balance of both to find the peace within. It is the simple things we want to win. We want to feel love, to know what it's made of. We want to sing it to the trees like a prayer, like a call on the breeze, like the air, like the buzzing of bees. I sit high and see what nothing else sees. Now I'm quiet. Did my lover find me? I guess my life is to be free. My life is finding Eve. Thank you.
Bravo. Your work
Thank
is
you.
beautiful.
Thank
you.
you so much. This next one is I Can Feel the Wind. I can I can only feel the wind and the love that won't rescind, because the love won't leave me pinned and the love won't stop within, since the love of nature's bounty finds its way back into me, where I feel a lot like ecstasy, the intimate release, how it flows down rivers and trees, how it glides on your face with ease, why the rising sun finds the sea, why the birds cry sweet melodies. I know why I find subtle peace with the company of leaves, knowing the sky is blue in between the many hues that your eyes can see. Um, this next one is, thank you. This next one is called I Believe in You. It was published in Bard's Annual 2025. So if you guys were in Bard's Annual, I'm pretty sure some of you guys were in there. You probably read it. Here it goes. Your words resonate like a symphony of songs and instruments to play blissfully. For my ears to hear at this moment I see, I found a little piece of me, singing a song to my heart that stays in the sheets, the comfort of you that reminisces and completes, a smile I see when the world wants to defeat. Our soul bears a song too sweet. And here you are, chasing life, chasing dreams, chase the skies. Here you are, a light, a beam. You are of hope in the darkest extremes. You take me for a ride. I believe that I breathe with you. Yeah, these next couple of poems are going to be, thank you, are going to be love poems, I think. Yeah. Some of them are love poems. Some of them are food for thought. This one is called Knowledge is Power. What do I see in my mind's eye? Is it a reflection of me and mind? Or is it a mirage of many things, people, places, and traces of everything? What do I see when I close my eyes? Does my mind take me to a hidden paradise? Does it take me to a sense of nothingness? Is it even my mind or my consciousness? What are we aware of other than what we know? There can be a lot of things to say or show, yet what we feel makes all the difference in what's good or bad without interference of other energy. But then again, what is that? Is it a feeling or emotion that happens when we're at the precipice of sudden change in the current time? Why we adapt at the drop of a dime? What does it all mean? Does it matter if it's seen? Are there things beyond our comprehension to understand in this dimension? What if all the answers that we need are in books and stories that carry little seeds to plant into our minds until our time to grow? That's when we understand what we sow. That all we will ever know, the knowledge we hold. Some people find knowledge and learn until they're old. Some people learn until time unfolds into something new. To hold the only thing they hold is true, that knowledge is power. Thank you. This one is called Sweetest Revelation, and this is a love poem. You are the sweetest revelation mixed with hollow regrets. You are the light to my being, my soul can never forget. You give me peace, hope, and love, the cute sensation dreams are made of. When tensions leaves and romance stays, it curses the human experience in ways. I fade into you. Let me dream nothing new. Let me see inside that beautiful soul that cannot hide, the beautiful smile that you share, since I can see our love affair. When we grow old and all we know are memories, let's take things slow. Let's do things at our pace. It's all we have. There is no race. There is no haste. There is no fear that overcomes what we hold dear. To our love, to our dream, to our life sailing upstream, past the past of what we know. Things have changed and we grew to where we are and where we're going, past the mistakes and mistakes and knowing. I never thought that we would meet, yet here you are sweeping me off my feet. You are a treat and everything that's good in this world. I know I should. I will love you forever. I will love you through any endeavor. You are my soulmate, Brittany. Thank you. This next one is since the first two poems were about um, the beginning and like the feeling of love, the affection, the romance, and the last two are about the breakup and love's end. So this one is called Nothing at All. I see your face in old songs, a memory of nothing. When the beat hits me real strong, I see a memory of nothing. When I turn and watch a similar face, a memory of nothing comes. The moment I thought was real and true turned out to be nothing at all. All I know is that when I think of you, it feels like an empty space, a void. Everything I thought I knew of you was quickly and quietly destroyed. I remember the thoughts I thought were memories, but truly were nothing at all. It was a mirage, an imaginative thing that ended up as nothing at all. And this next one is called Toe to Toe with Regret. With painted scars and silhouettes, I hold on to those last regrets. A world before the spirit let me see the light I can't forget. The way you moved my heart, yet fear and anguish ripped apart the seams of magic in your eyes. It was not meant, it was no prize. The love you hold, not meant for me. The scars you weighed in misery. I saw the pain hurt in your scars. It tore into the stars where dreams are held. I see you there, like a magic pigtail whipping through the air. I see your light now. It's not for me. Finding peace in how history received that we were nothing, not a blimp, not a flare. It was a moment without a care, without a purpose. I now have to see our regrets seeping in silently. You were not meant for me. I wonder why. I rap at the window and curse the skies, curse the world that I formed in my head when you were still there. That reality is dead, gone to completion. Not even a nice to meet you. It's simply a no. I gotta let this kid go. I let gratitude be the flow, and no regrets die slow. I just simply had to know this regret, go toe to toe. What is meant to be will be. I will fly free to felicity, forgiving myself for the things I've done, letting this regret know that I've won. I have found the sun and love. This next one is called This Thing Called Life, and this is a food for thought poem. I look at these night skies and wonder where the day flies. To be kissed and held in subtle moments, I wonder where are the sweet goodbyes, where dancing meadows bring out a fantasy, where the love of a country is more than the wind it speaks. To the fragments that broke under rules and distress, I look to the sky and wonder if it's all a test, See something greater than what if and what we know? Can we sometimes take it slow? Can we run and lose control of the very being that yearns to unfold, of the precipice of a life untold? Can we see beyond the horizon and shore so we can remember what it's all for, this thing called life? This next poem is called The Artist versus the Art. And this one was published in The Scene. This was in the 3-year anniversary magazine where all the members of The Scene were published. So here it goes. The art versus the artist. Am I the art too, not just the artist? Are fragments of me given in between the lines that I craft? Poets are real people who see life the hardest, script the parallels of reality through analogy and drafts. Where am I going? Will I see a moment later, after I lived in a different world that is shared with pen and paper? Does it take me, a part of me, rip my soul until it's obsolete, leave me fragments of make believe, running through the mystique where my soul speaks to me? This next one is called The Atlas of Debt. I wrote this when I was in a tough financial situation, so here it goes. It's kind of whimsical and funny, so if you guys want to laugh, it's fine, but here it goes. This debt these days make living feel like a life sentence. I gotta give my time and money to get rid of this. The future waste that once it hit when I had lack of sense, or when I needed the rent, ran up my credit, ain't got much left. I can't even breathe, but I can exhale. This money to me, this story, a tale. I can't even wail, I can't even lie. These shackles upon don't want me to rise. Don't want me to see a life felt free. Out of the waste, I can taste the memory of something I wanted to be. I'm fishing, casting a dream. Yet I have no bait. I have to wait and be patient to be done with this debt that I owe. I know that you are here watching me go slow. Enjoy the ride with me because when I'm done, I'm free. I'll never go back again. You will never break me. We were never friends. This is the end. Goodbye, debt. And yes, I agree, Kathy, it is. Yes.
Might want to use that in my accounting class.
You should. If you want to, just let me know. I'll send it to you.
Especially when it's a friend. I mean, geez, that'll break the deal. That's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Borrow it, yes. Take it, no.
I know. I know. This next one is called Speak as if everyone's listening. It's a food for thought poem. Speak as if everyone is listening. Everyone can hear your voice. Like a teapot kettle whistling, your sound holds the choice. To roar with loud thunder, or to breathe the whisper and weir. Just know that everything's sour, whether you shout or hear. You choose so clearly the difference, or your mind stays the same. You wander through hallways and paths, searching for a goal, your name, your legacy in one's mind. Speak as if everyone knows, your temper, your thoughts, your shadow shows. It does not matter if you lie, as long as you live with it. Your speech runs south, and you feel it bit by bit. It eats away at you. Why I say what is true. Speak as if everyone can hear. You'll find peace in being you. This next poem is an untitled poem. Thank you. And I wrote this poem when me, MT, and Jess Payas, I'm not sure if you know them, but they're both members of the scene. Um, we all went to this women's prison and we recited poetry like an open mic. And I was inspired to write this poem after that event. So here it goes. Can I see the beauty in you through your eyes? I know that you've been struggling with the lies and the tries. I know why. People have blundered my soul too. You try to make a difference in your life, find something new that you can create with your mind past the violence. When you try to find the peace through the hate and the silence, that we all have problems. Nobody is perfect. Build a better life and you will see that light is worth it. So I ask again, can I see the beauty in you? The intimate, the air, the warmth you hold so true. You hold on to that essence with that last breath you take, with that last breath you make. I just hope you build and create light. I have about 2 poems left. This next poem is called Dream at 10:46, and it was just a poem that I wrote at 10:46 on Sunday. And here it goes. She sat in silence with reggae playing around. The cool air calmed her face, her feet placed on the ground. She sat and read with nothing to do and everything to dream of. Her mind pondered on things that made her feel a feeling of love. For she wants to travel the 7 seas and see beyond the midnight breeze that takes her heart on a journey to where the sky is high and bright and blue. As she journeys on to where she may, the wind can carry her away. Yet here she is with hopes undone to caress and feel the rays of the sun. And my last poem is called Until We Rest. I think it was published in, I forgot, but it was published in some anthology. Here it goes. Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was Suffolk County. If we heal from the wounds of yesterday, instead of letting the sickness pervade, we could change our minds, our world with knowledge and rays of light that the system can fade. Into the future of circumstance, when challenges come and take your heart, you must find and give into chance, turn your pain into works of art, to turn the page like turning the cheek, and caress the feeling that comes from above. You will learn that nothing is as mystique of finding faith in the feeling of love. It holds you like a glove and softens your soul. It takes you on a ride, but lets you know that you're okay. It sparks life with life, losing ego control, and gives you a hope that likes to stay into the precipice of your goal, success, which gives way to the game, the test, that surrounds us all on our path of debts to the earth, that graces our lungs until we rest. Thank you so much.
Well done, Qiana. Really enjoyed it. It's amazing all the imagery you put in those 16. I counted 16 different poems, starting with if you can feel, how we can do anything if we have hope, which is a good message. The chocolate mints, I could see how you learned how a plant can become a good friend. And the bird song, what I might find repulsive, the eating of worms. The bird is essential to their life.
Yeah.
There's the subtlety of the feeling of the wind on the face, just beautiful. I believe in you. Those poems about love, including the believing in you and the knowledge is power, and then to see that all kind of change with the and then the sweet relevation gave rise then to the old songs, the nothing at all, how old songs brought back memories of nothing, just packed in both the beginning, the middle, and the end there of that love journey. Toe to toe with regret, again, very great reflection. This thing called life, very, very timely. Artist versus art, very, very interesting to think of ourselves as, are we creating art, or are we the art themselves? The Atlas of Debt, I'm going to write you a little email. I'm going to use it in my accounting course next time I get into debt. Speak as if everyone is listening is very good advice to us all. And the beauty of the poignancy of the poem and written, inspired by the visit to the women's prison, to see the beauty in all those prisoners is a good message for all of us. And 10:46 p.m. I assume that was p.m. We can get inspiration, come to us at any time, and you've reminded us that. And the last poem, the importance of healing from the wounds of yesterday. So just a great read. And per Kathy's suggestion, what I'd invite you to do now, if you want to turn on your mic rather, and give Qiana a round of applause. Let's all do so.
Awesome job.
Yay.
Yes, wonderful,
Awesome,
wonderful.
Good.
Thank you.
Great
going, Q.
Thank you.
Well done.
I see a lot of these poems turn song.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Little rappy. Rhyming is just
Okay. So I'm going to put everyone now on mute again. and we
Can I
will.
just say one thing,
If
Qiana?
it's just one and it's quick, go ahead.
Qiana, your words were a fresh look at the human condition.
Mm.
Loved it, the music, the rhyme. God bless you. You were very inspiring today. Thank you.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
agree.
Okay, so let's.
Hmm.
So I'm going to put everybody on mute if I can get out of. And we're going to move into the open read. Let's go to the participants here. Participants. So you all now muted. So please remember when you are called upon to read to turn your mics on. And I do the best I can with the multitasking. So I apologize in advance if I didn't get everybody. There are quite a few names in chat. So if I missed anyone, fear not, we will get you in the, before we close up, we'll go around and make sure we got everybody. So if I inadvertently skip anyone on the list, it was not intentional. Okay. All right. So the first group of three, we'll call you in three so you're prepared. And remember to turn your mic on when it's your turn to read. Will be Marvin, followed by Joyce, followed by Megan. So Marvin, over to you.
The title of the poem is Togetherness. His son calls me a freaking wreck, a disgraceful eyesore, a thing. He tells the old man, I'll buy you a new one for God's sake. It's true that I'm not what I once was. I'm frayed at the armrests. Whitish gray stuff from ragged edges has erupted. Rorschach patterns appear at the top of me, where he inclines his head. My seat has a long, jagged scar, sinuous like the Mississippi, with a stuffing a half-inch thick, protruding against the brown leather. There is tape not quite matching my skin, covering other wounds. I might be a mess, but a me. Having enfolded him for 30 years, he has taken in the world, sitting or reclining while watching the TV. Not quite as old as I, but it's no youngster either. He is loyal to us. I don't like change. These newfangled things are not for me. I like the comfort of continuance. He replies to his son, I only want the best for you, Dad. I'm satisfied, son, with what I have. He rose from me and stood transfixed when planes crashed into towers, when assassins struck Tsunamis, Oklahoma City, Katrina, and then he plopped into me as if he had been through the unseen agony. But at times he leaned his head against my fraying me and closed his eyes and tasted victory with his Yanks or Super Bowl with his Giants and applauded humanitarian efforts and saw that good still lives somewhere in the world. I could hear his breathing, thank God, which even comforted me, who comforted him in my embrace. Perhaps we'll fall apart together. At the end, we might not have to go our separate ways. Has it ever been done? Two in one? There's always a first time.
Well done, Marvin. Something to said about continuance. Joyce, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. Enjoyed the reading very much, and a young poet to inspire us, definitely. This is called Pool Time at the Condo. I am swimming past a sea of trouble, stepping into the water, submerging gradually, legs first, then torso, and finally all the way in, dunking in over my head. Pushing my body forward, gliding rapidly underwater, the first slap, pure energy. With earplugs, I hear nothing. Through goggles, I see the blue, cool walls. I am suspended in time, leaving behind my list of adult responsibilities of widowhood. There are no thoughts as I crawl and breathe, head left and right. upstream like salmon in Alaska. My arms move alternately, right and left. Lap 2, lap 3. I resurface again and maneuver to a side stroke, stretching my hips, then flipping onto my back. I am suspended in time. Remembering other pools in my life. Spartan Day camp in Far Rockaway with my dad on a rare Sunday, his only day off, when I was maybe 8. A beach club with my second parents, Aunt Grace and Uncle Jules, when I was 7. A pool by the beach at their rented apartment in Bal Harbor, Florida, when they sold the house in Brooklyn, when I was 11. A pool in Manhattan at a health club to relieve cramped muscles when I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia in my late 20s. A pool at a beach club, Atlantic Beach again, with my husband and kids, when our daughters were 1 and almost 4. Today, at the pool where I now live alone, after selling the family house where my husband and I raised those 2 girls to adulthood, a cool breeze is blowing. The July summer sun shines and is hot, and pink petals from surrounding hydrangeas float on the surface of the water. Now I see the ladder, and I struggle to hoist myself up. I shiver as I return to where I left my belongings, and alone I wrap myself in a towel, standing where my dear Louis would have stood to hold out a towel for me. Thank you all for letting me share this.
Well done, Joyce. Thank you. Okay, Megan, over to you.
Great to be here. This poem is called Balancing Act. I never knew how like the giant Pacific octopus I feel, honing my need to adapt to survive. Waves of you can't, battered, tired skin. You can't see to bake that cake, do that job, hold that baby. But like the octopus changes colors and textures to blend, I contort my mind and body, squeeze into minute spaces formed by rocks of disbelief, finding a way through liquid wonder of surroundings. Arms taste the world, lids twist open without thumbs, travel streets without sight. I worry adapting will swallow me, suction me back to my lair until I've lost my niche and become as shapeless as water. Thank you.
Well done. Beautiful poem. I had to resist the temptation to think of the song by Ringo Starr, Octopus's Garden. but well done.
Thank you.
Okay, The next group of 3 is Barbara, followed by Mark, followed by Chip. So Barbara?
Good morning, everyone. I never do this, but I'm reading something that I just wrote this morning. Today's miracles and sorrow. A sun shower drenches the flowers, subtropical after last night's thunderstorm. Hibiscus serving platters of bright red, hydrangeas saturated in white, crepe myrtle heavily laden with pink, Rose of Sharon nodding in agreement. The gardenia's waxy leaves vibrant with hope of a fall, fragrant flower, with gratitude. Today's sorrow. My friend David has passed away. He was smart and funny, quirky as all get out. He lived in a world where science meets myth. At science meetings we attended, we often sought out a stage. While I sang, he played blues harps like you wouldn't believe. He learned how to cook tasty insect larvae and was known as the bug chef on late night TV. He wrote books on sharks. He did research on Bigfoot like he knew the guy. He wrote a book about oysters in the Pacific Northwest called Heaven on the Half Shell. He believed in a lot of paradises, a lot of paradoxes, maybe even heaven. But wherever that is for you, you're there, my friend. Heaven on the Half Shell. Thank you, David.
Great stuff, Barbara. Great, wonderful tribute. Okay, over to Mark.
So this poem was published last month in an online journal called Jerry Jazz Musician, which is largely devoted to music, but they also publish poems and stories. This is called The L-Shaped Tree. June 1972. Out of college about a month. Now what? A Saturday morning with Dad in Huntington at the Village Green. An arts and crafts fair in the sunshine. I walk the grounds with him to the various booths. We make our rounds up and down the rows, then off to the east side of the green, close to Park Avenue. I see a big wide tree with a low-hanging horizontal bough. It invites me over, the L-shaped tree. I sit and look from this corner spot, the colors, the people, the loose, happy feel of it all, an outdoor adventure of wonder. I sit in silence on this broad bench of bark. I sense I belong here. Dad wants to leave. We've already spent a good bit of time. I agree and we drive home, but then I ask if I can borrow the car and go back. I make the return trip to the green alone. I walk directly to that tree. I sit down and am immediately comfortable on the inviting bark. I look out again at the crowd and the booths and the noise. I feel part of something. I don't know what, I don't know why, I don't know how. But something is stirring within, calling, as if this is home, this tree, this grass, this scene. I have thought of that day many times over the years, how a shift was in progress, a message directly to me, creativity in the arts, somehow, somewhere, some part of me, yes, me. And yes, I am writing these words today, more than 50 years later. Thank you.
Well done, Mark. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Chip, over to you.
Oh, wow. I'm having such a great time. Qiana, your reading was wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing and everyone that's shared so far. Really good work. I was inspired by Pamila's Caswarren's book, Exile is Not a Foreign Word. I tell you, I had a box of tissues when reading this. It's just really exceptional. It's just really amazing. So this poem was inspired by the book, and now if I only I could find it, which it was just on my desktop. Okay. I smile. Laughter is what I missed. Laughter is what I miss hearing most. Feeling that tingling sensation in the bottom of my stomach when I'm in your presence and when I wake beside you in the middle of the night. Though scorched, dehydrated, famished, exhausted, heavenly hearted, I smile because it's good for the children who play alongside the rubble we once called home. Before the soldiers came with their guns and tanks, which seems so long ago, a time when life was simpler, when life was better, when life was fun and full of laughter. Thank you.
Thank you, Chip. Beautiful poem. Okay, the next group of three is Dan Kerr, followed by Mike Daly, followed by Wendy. Okay, so let's go over to Dan. And many of you may not know this, but I used to be the chief of staff of the global HR group of Deloitte, which is the largest accounting firm in the world. And as a result of that, I developed relationships with people all throughout the world, including the guy who is currently the chairman of Deloitte Canada. And if you know the history of US and Cuba, you know that it's illegal for Americans to go to Cuba. And at the same time, there is normalized relationships between Cuba and Canada. And I was always fascinated by Cuba, so I said, I'm just going to go there. So through my contact in Canada, I was able to go to Cuba twice. So the poem I'm about to share you now was on one of my trips to Cuba. I think Castro died in 2016, so it was clearly written before Castro died. So I think I probably wrote this in like 2010, something about that. And it was subsequently published in one of the editions of Bard's Annual. And it's called, which the reasons will become obvious when you hear the verses, it's called The Empty Tomb. Here goes. Although I have a zest for life, I am drawn to graveyards, especially those where famous people rest. My walks amongst the dead include visits to Père Lachaise in Paris, Recoleto in Buenos Aires, Trinity Graveyard in Manhattan, Arlington in Washington, and Martin Luther King's tomb in Atlanta, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem, and the Cemetery de Christopher Colon in Havana, Cuba. Oftentimes, tombs speak to us, words and symbols that tell us how the dead lived, how they died, and send messages they want us to receive after their death. Oscar Wilde's tomb says he was fortified by the sacraments of the church. At Recoleta, Eva Peron has finally completed her after-death trek, buried under 20 feet of concrete this time, safe from future display, adoration, and political manipulation. Trinity Graveyard teaches us Alexander Hamilton was a statesman of consummate wisdom, whose talents and virtues will be admired long after the marble of this monument has molded to dust. The eternal flame burns above JFK's grave at Arlington and challenges us to ask what you or what your country can do for you. Ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. Water flows at Martin Luther King's grave at the monument. It quotes the words of the prophet Amos and are carved in stone. Let justice run down like water and righteousness like a mighty rain. Christ's tomb in Jerusalem is empty, living testament to how the good news of his resurrection and ours to follow. Like everything else in Cuba, the Christopher Columbus Cemetery is frozen in time, old and decrepit. The tomb that caught my eye as I walked among the dead was a large mausoleum. All the doors were open and all the graves were empty. No one ever rested there. There are no stories to tell, at least not yet. Perhaps sometime in the future, when I visit the tomb frozen in time, the old, decrepit, bearded dictator and his younger brother Raul, freedom will fall down like rain in Cuba too, and the people will stop fleeing the island prison, return to their island country to live, and perhaps be buried in this empty tomb in Havana. Thank you. Okay, Mike Daly.
I like words. I like the way they connect themselves to each other. I like how they connect your thoughts to lead you down a path to write a good story or point how to paint a pretty picture. But sometimes they don't do that. This one is called Connections. There are pickup trucks and pickup lines, pickup sticks and stick-up blinds. Blinds man's bluff, kick the can, candy apples, candy man, Hershey's bars and Hershey's kisses, Mr. Goodbar, Fish Paul's misses, St. Pauli's beer, Miller's light, the light of love, the dark of night. nighttime kisses, bedtime stories, Bible verses of God's glories. Glory to God in the highest, the height of deception, of midnight triest. And try as I might, I cannot recall where I was going with this poem at all. Suffice it to say, upon more reflection, I was hooked on the words and all their connections. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, Wendy, over to you.
Q, what a wonderful reading, and thank you, Kathy and Dan, for making today possible. This is called Accountability. God will punish you if you lie, my mother would threaten me. I visualized brimstone falling from the sky. Would I break out in boils like the Egyptians when Pharaoh angered God? Lying was scared out of me. Ancient Egyptians believed the god Anubis would weigh the deceased heart against a feather. If found lacking, the deceased spirit would be eaten by a crocodile. Buddha taught that truth was noble. Lying would cause negative karma, which caused suffering in this life and the next. Dante said liars would end up in the eighth circle of hell, to be punished either by flames, mutilated by demons, or suffer incurable disease or rot. Exhausted by all the lies politicians spew, I want instant accountability. If I could, I would invent a pill that all politicians would be required to take. That, like Pinocchio, their noses would grow each time they told a lie.
It'll be an interesting patent to get on that pill. Okay. Okay. Now the last person who declared their intention to read, and we'll get the ready one that we missed, is Jerry. So Jerry, over to you. Jerry, you got to turn your mic on.
I'm here. Here we go. This is called Ordering In. I can't find my poem. You can go to a pizza parlor and order one with sausage, meatball, mushrooms, and pepperoni. Why can't I order up a villanelle, sonnet, haiku? I'll take blank verse if it will squeeze by the undulating need to press against the past looking for my mother, her hands folded and crossed, each finger marking a moment on my heart, my path, my vision, directing my cross-legged words on hot-baked streets, my longing feet wandering, searching for her lap, the comfort of so much silence. And by the way, Qiana, your poetry once again I found very inspiring. Its rhythms, its content, and it's just a new look at the condition of us humans. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm looking over the chat and just checking to see if I missed anybody. And one of the challenges in chat is the people enter commentary, which is very timely. And then as we get later into the poem, it's difficult to see the people who have put their name in chat. So rather than spend a lot of time just walking around, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this in the gallery here. And we'll make sure we get everyone. Just be patient with me, please. Okay, so Randy, I think you wanted to read. And was there anyone else? Just wave your hand if you wanted to read. Okay, so it's Wendy. Wendy, I'll handle it, please. Wendy and Shu.
I just read.
No, it's Shu. Wendy and Shu. Oh, Wendy just read. Okay, I'm sorry. So Shu, is there anyone else? So
Chris. There's Chris Javier also.
Okay, so Randy, Shu, and Chris. Okay. Anyone else? And Kathy, I know you'll probably want to read.
Sure, at the end.
Okay, so let's go to Randy, let's go to Shu, and let's go to Chris, and then we'll come back and pick up Kathy or anyone else that we may have missed. So Randy, over to you.
All right, thank you, Dan. I love Mary Oliver's comment about how to live life well and write poetry. Well, says pay attention, oh boy. There's three things anyway: pay attention and be astonished and write about it. So that's what I tried to do here. Newborn. First time in public, 3 weeks old, a crowd gathers, baby the center of attention. But my focus is drawn upwards. First time mother beaming, the neighborhood's lone streetlight on a moonless night. When I first met her, I didn't know she spoke a second language, and maybe she didn't know either. Now she coos sounds incoherent to us, but in that unique, unmistakable melody. Her smiling gaze, a waterfall of affection, the little one's eyes fixed on hers, gulping it down. This mother knows how to love the way a river knows how to flow downhill. Thank you.
Thank you. Shu, over to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Such a lovely morning. Hear all those great poem and see some new faces and know some new friends is always great. So I post my writing on the chat, but it doesn't allow me to put the whole thing there because it's on the maximum character there is allowed is 1,000 words. So there's something that missing there, but I'm going to read it, and so you can read along on the chat. The title is The Summer It Rained You. That summer seemed made of rain. We went to a festival with a tiny piggy bank. Now it holds only a faint glitter of pennies, rattling like a small, lonely heart. Later that afternoon, a sudden storm soaked us through. On the twilight cruise, the band played Hotel California. I ordered a last word, sweet, sour, and sharp on the tongue. Heading back, the rain battled the boat. On a long rainy day, we stayed inside, movie after movie, from tender love to creeping horror, until popcorn and soda were gone. Like a rainbow, you colored my life. Then faded the way morning fog abandoned the hills. This summer, the sky withholds its rain. Feel like a silence that keeps asking for you. Fireflies blinking in the grass, like fragments of a fallen galaxy. Beautiful, Navajo. Out of habit, I stopped at the ice cream shop. The double chocolate, not as sweet, only cold and bitter, lingering on the tongue. I miss the rain, heavy gray air, raindrops tapping the pond, streams tracing the window. The soaked world that once held us close. And most of all, I miss standing in the rain with you beside me. Thank you.
Thank you, Shu. Well done. Okay. Chris, over to you.
Okay, Qiana, congratulations on your feature. Amazing, amazing rhymes. The poem I'm going to read to you is A Jaguar, Cobra, Loveland. A jaguar and a cobra, black and blue. These eyes highly beam through the Colorado routes, paw prints on broken lines, dead skins on S corners smoother than epoxy. Apexes were preyed on, chicanes were maimed, loops were tightened in the darkest night, and the moonlight was killed in Loveland Pass. The dreams of the draft blowing on their coats and scales have come true. These trails that are fresh tells the story of coexistence, of warm and cold blood. Did you get the speed of what I'm putting down? I figured that much. You couldn't carry the weight of V8s from their larynxes, but at least you got your wheels in motion. Just like that jaguar and that cobra disappearing in the smoke, without a single bump, without a single touch, without crossing the broken lines, they remain fractioned in between the guardrails. May these mountains be their guidance. Poem.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, so they'll go back and see if there's anyone else. Okay, anyone else want to read other than Kathy? Okay, I think we got everybody. I appreciate your patience with that. Kathy, over to you.
Yes, it does look like we have everyone. And I just want to say thank you so many people for coming. I think that's you, Qiana. You know, your energy radiates out. Thank you so much for reading. It was wonderful and just so timely. Like the sounds of youth come out in your work. I appreciate that. I can't imagine anyone disagrees with me, so I'm wondering if you feel the same. It's called Waves. It makes me happy to know this island I live on has no oil, no reason to drill, baby drill, shatter, destroy, cause earthquakes, no reason to pollute with lakes of toxic waste for animals to sip, children to play in, get a mouthful, die a slow death. We have no coal to mine, black lung, occasional collapse, sickness, injuries, death. Perhaps it could be done safely, cleanly, but too many times we humans take shortcuts. It saves money. Less man-made reasons for the many Long Islanders to be displaced, refugees in our own neighborhoods. We leave that to an act of God. I live on an island in the Atlantic Ocean, perpetual blue-green waves on the shoreline. Every few seconds, crash and withdraw to circle round, do it again. Saline, teeming with life and nourishment. Perpetual motion is an energy source. I read this decades ago. Now I'm hearing it on our TV, discussions in magazines, and on the news. By 2050, we will be totally off fossil fuels. I don't believe it, but I can hope. I'll be listening with a prayer.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, let's bring back Qiana for her encore.
Thank you. And to all the readers, you guys were amazing. I loved all your poems. This last poem that I'm going to read is about community. I was inspired by the poetry community as well as my community and my job since I work for a school. I'm involved in the North Babylon community. It's called Without Love. Is this what they have thought about? The hands who raised us without a doubt, who shaped and changed us, who helped us fly. Is this what they felt when giving back applies? When you see the growth and the strength, the rise, when you catch a star and you feel their surprise, that you can imagine anything of your dreams, that you can create an escape from fear, it seems, that those hands from back then shaped everything we know, our schools and communities, our communities and so on. We go, but never forget who helped you without regret, without their light that was shining on you. Where would you be? What could you do without love?
Thank you. Well done. Okay.
Thank you.
Kathy, over to you.
So I guess we're done for today, and it's only 8 minutes after 12. Not bad. We try to keep it an hour, but never do. Next month, we're going to have a gentleman who probably most of you don't know, because I don't see him coming into Nassau too much, or even Suffolk. So I met him at Maggie and Chip's Riverhead Library venue, and I was just blown away. So to tell you, you know, the people that read, it's because I've been blown away by their work and invite them to read. I only need 12, and there's a lot more poets than 12. So his name is Robert Brown, and everyone knows him as Bubby. And what a sweetheart of a man, and his poems, I mean, they're right at you. So I welcome you to listen to him. You'll never forget him, like you won't forget Qiana. people make impressions, and I hope we'll see you next month.
I just want to say something about Bubby. Bubby is an extraordinary man. He's also the co-founder of Poetry Street. He and Susan Dingle founded Poetry Street, and this man, his poetry is really, really something special. So please support him. Thank you. And thanks, Kathy
No problem.
and Dan.
Okay, so thank you, Qiana, one last time. And we look forward to Bubby Brown, good friend to Chip, and Maggie.